I just thought I'd record buying these runes. Since they're such a large investment, we can keep track in the future if they were worth it or not. Welcome back to the Edward Allen Walsh channel. Today, guys, I want to do an update on my rags. We figure we'll go over the whole roster that I've been using lately. Just to show you that my roster works, you can see where I'm at in PvP right now. You'll see where I'm at come double trophies. We are in top 10 last time I checked. We're in 9th. Yeah, we're still in 9th. I really messed up hard in my last loss. I brought the wrong team. I just thought it was a 4 ninja team, and I didn't see Emily, and I forgot to bring Agnon to kill her, so we didn't have a way to kill Emily and we lost. But anyway, let's go over. Oh yeah, this is defense that I've been using. I made changes to it today, so I don't know how much we can call it, the same record. But now there's a taunt rune on Hopper, so I don't know if that made it worse or better, and 2 festives. The reason why, we'll go over that when we get to Hopper. Let's go check out what we got going on. Alright, first hero up will be Shade. We have our Shade sitting on HP defense, defense HP, attack HP defense damage reduction, and health defense. The warrior penetration is awkward. It could probably be better on other heroes, but it's not the worst versus Agnon. The reason why we have our Shade rune this way is we're not using Shade as like a Shadow Blade to try and kill somebody on the first hit. We're using Shade for possession, for spirit link, for shroud, for haunt. We're using so we want our Shade alive so we can get more out of it. The health is allowing me to be able to pair well with Solaris for a fury gain. The defense allows you to take a hit versus the beat 'em up teams, which are becoming in more abundance. Somehow we do manage max crit chance out of there, which I always like. We do have a max epic. The abilities, sometimes we're going to Spirit Link on turn 1, sometimes we're not, and sometimes we're now going to Possess on turn 2 when we pair with Echo, meaning a lot of these hard teams that I'm not knowing how to beat, it's just because I forgot that I can possess their best guy and use it to beat their own team before their team can even do anything. Examples of where Shade works well, versus Furnace Barbs that are beatdown barbs. I can link up their Abby. She works well with Furno now because the debuff doesn't matter on turn 1. Now I'm using Shade for Shroud, basically like a Shroud Shield. You get Shroud Shields from epic triggers. You don't get epic triggers if you're dead because you killed a guy who comes back or something. So there's just many opportunities where Shade wasn't cutting it the way Shade was. Zom, we have Zom heavily invested in. We basically just have him invested to survive. We got a high life, but I don't think he can take an Agnon hit, so his life's kind of like, meh. He can if he's shrouded in full health, maybe. I don't see any need to make changes to him. I like the healing every round. I like the caster DR. People try to get actually with Shade Inferno and stuff. His stats kind of similar to Shade's, not attack-wise or whatever. But Zom, he is just overall your best account hero. You want to get one, save up your gems if you don't have one. Priority number 1 on account roster hero. This guy will help your account more than any hero by itself. His epic is also maxed. For the most part, I bring him almost every time I see Hopper. That's pretty much the nuts and berries of him in PvP. Sometimes you want double body removers like Solaris or something, so you can bring him. Hopper. Hopper's under construction right now, which Hopper's been under construction in my book for about like a month and a half. I feel like I can't never get my mind made up on what the hell he's supposed to be doing in PvP, because like you use him so much and then you'll want more out of him, and then yeah, it gets interesting. But so anyway, like we start with the caster buffs or caster steal rune, since he's getting a lot of hits on people in a fight. Good chance to steal some shit on turn 1 is amazing. This is just a filler. I'm not sure it's the correct rune, but it is giving him a boost since he does have max epic. But it's basically there for just an attack. This is a new rune that we just invested in earlier. I'm using it here just for playtesting right now, coming out of the gates, being able to pair that with this and double chomp on turn 1 and have taunt on, that's where I took this off of Echo and I put it here because I'm playtesting what Shrouded Dodge taunting Hopper can do on turn 1, you know, and it seems like it's really awful when Agnon doesn't miss and he picks your freaking taunted ass up and drops you, but I mean, it's still fun from what I've been using it for. The stats, he's still kind of well-rounded. I like him for right now. Can't say he's going to be this way for months to come, but he will still, I think, be well-rounded. I don't think he's going to be all defense or all attack for me anytime soon. My Grog. Grog is situational right now. He's a meta situation, meaning like when the meta goes too far Koros, Grog comes in. When the meta goes too far Lily, Koros comes in. You know, when the meta goes too far one way, there's always these like elemental powerhouses to kind of round it out, I feel like. Anyway, let's jump into his runes. We have defense in both blue spots, but we made sure to make sure, since there's 4 stats on the rune, that 2 of them are offensive and 2 of them are defensive. So this was a perfect rune for this guy. Here, I just have that for... I've been debating whether it should be upgraded to a duelist, but for right now, we just have that to absorb a little more Furno, a little more Shade, a little more Lily, but you shouldn't have him in that fight, but I got him on defense, that's why. Here, I'm not saying a Guardian isn't a great job, but if you had a Guardian, you wouldn't need all that blue defense that you've seen on me, so we're going with the crit chance. Trying to wreck face with this guy, man, and have him alive long enough to do it for turn 1 and 2. That's why we got, you know, more power right there. His stats: nice attack, nice defense, nice max health, decent crit chance, skill. He's well-rounded. His epic is maxed. We're using Grog, not even with Solaris all the time, guys. Sometimes we're just bringing Grog as an attacker. He's good with Solaris, great with Gore-Tusk and Solaris. Emily, Tusk, Solaris, Grog in different orders. Is, you know, it's been doing work. Echo instead of Tusk in some cases. Emily, she's probably with 2 festive runes on the best hero in PvP, meaning, like, I just can't see how, if you kept boss 100 the way it is, how somebody could top 100 without using any Emily at all. That would just, it seems like a rough path. She's so heavily relied on for so much stuff. We have one of our Guardians on her, which we only own 2 Guardians. I have thought about crafting another Guardian, but not after I just spent 9k gems, guys. I am done with runes for a while. I gotta figure out the perfect way to use the ones I already got now. We got the community rune that we got recently. There was an upgrade for her. And then we still have these 2 festives on. I know they just came out with another festive, but it's not like they have a red healer rune. You know, so I do like the idea that if I put the festive here, I can then put a skill there, but I don't like the idea that then I can't be playtesting with my Hopper, so we'll see where that goes, but you could see that being moved around a little bit, but I do like her setup right now. It's not broke, so I don't have to worry about fixing it anytime soon. Her epic is maxed. I have shitty internet lag, so you have to bear with me. There it is. Her stats, attack's pretty low, but we got an average, or not average, but I try to keep the max health and defense equally, close to 15k. She can take some hits. I have seen her get wiped, so it's not like she can't get wailed out. And Echo, he's been getting used a lot by me. I have been I don't know, the taunt rune might come back. I've been using him just so much, guys. Him having taunt and you having your own Agnon and their Agnon having to hit your Echo so that your Agnon can kill their Agnon and then get a fucking plummet back. Oh my gosh. He's just been carrying a huge load in PvP for me right now. Last week he started carrying more and more of the load too. So let's jump into his runes. He has a Bulwark that came off Emily when we got that upgrade, and then he's just got a filler right now for defense, health. Then we move into the Duelist because he's constantly hitting Solarises and Zoms. I just feel like this is better than any skill rune right now. Next, I have a healer rune on him. I didn't really have anywhere to put it. Ended up going on him, and it's been working out great. Now he's got double heal since he's got like Survivor on, but the Survivor's usually taunt. So, as is though, he can now cleanse a Furno, or not not a Furno burn. He can now cleanse Solaris' burn off of him. But we do have the Epic Max on him. His stats, you can see I'm starting to like, I can't keep up with all my opponents having elites and all that other shit. So a lot of my strategy in my roster is about taking hits, guys, about surviving long enough to make their AI have to make choices and knowing that I make better choices than it does. And if the longer I can progress fights, the more opportunity I can have to get advantage, small microscopic advantages to accumulate over the whole course of a fight to push me ahead. That's also the reason why I bought the 2 festive runes, because I felt like those might give me a little bit more squeeze room in some fights, but we'll see as time comes. I had absolutely no first thoughts where those festives would go before I bought them. I didn't know about the first 2 that I gotten either. The only one I've ever was sold 100 on was purple one going on Shade. When I got the other 2, they've moved everywhere from the guy you're looking at to Lily to Agnon had one, Zom had one. So there's just so many places and things that you can do. I know I used to always think about trying to get Black Diamond to assassinate on turn 1, but I mean, I'm not really worried about assassins right now, especially not with the Kai update. Kai seems like anti-assassin, pretty bad. Especially when they were putting taunt runes on the assassin team. Abigail, she might look like she got some runes, but she's basically like, she's strippable, and I've been taking runes from her, but the reason why she maintains runes on her is because I use her so much in tower. But let's show you what she's got. She's just holding on to these. None of them are wrote in stone. Only one of them, they're really, it's like welfare. I mean, she's not, but she does great in tower, guys, especially paired with Drake. I believe her epic is maxed. But I'm not using her in PvP. I haven't used her in PvP in 2 weeks. Or over 2 weeks, so not on defense, not anything. Let's see, we're getting down farther to the non-epic heroes. Furno. Furno used to be all defense and health for me, and he was like my anti-barb, but now he has to do way more than just barbs. And since Emily is never really reviving him in that fight, I've kind of got it now to where he's a gun, Agnon's a gun, Emily's ready to revive somebody, so let's look at his stats, or not his stats, his runes. They got another one of these in the shop right now if you can get 30k. I might. I don't know. There's already 2 that do the same thing, so I don't need another one. But we got skill health on him. That's maxing his crit chance. I'm not always sold on this. I don't really know what his crit chance would be without it. I don't think you can get in there with an incinerary rune or nothing, but that would be nice. We got a Guardian for pretty much the only defensive spot on him. He grabs health there, defense there, and then this is, sign the deal. And we did give him the extra attack since it was an offensive warrior attack rune. We took off the other ones because, honestly, man, I'd rather have him die than burn. Because if you kill him, then I can just summon him with Emily and burn then. So, I mean, like, we've definitely changed our game plan up behind Furno and the teams that we use him in. But he's getting used a lot more than just anti-barbs now for me. Bringing him in whenever I need my Agnon to gain an extra, energy each turn, or when I need my Agnon to do double damage to non-flyers, or when I need to survive turn 1. Or whenever I need to get rid of buffs. So Furnace has just been doing so much work, but he's almost always paired with Emily. That has come to notice, where he's always paired with Agnon. But I've noticed that a lot of PvP is broke down into pairing heroes. So let's look at them stats one more time. He doesn't have an epic. That's Furno. You can see in my other videos on my channel from my trophies. And there should be one coming in the next couple of days before the end of this season, which will be the hard matches from last season. The reason why it's not up yet is just because I've been putting so much work into trying to gather all the data from my phone that I've damn near got a 3-hour movie that I'm trying to just figure out how to get it smaller and get it on the internet. The next hero will be Furnace. He has been doing a lot of work. I've been bringing him in first Dark a lot. I've been bringing him in versus Agnons farther back in the lineup. He's been seeing a lot of work, guys. I'd be lying to tell you otherwise. I'm not sold on these skills, man. I thought they were gonna make his burn more, but I don't know. Maybe they just need to be attack. But for right now, that's where they're at. And I went with the extra attack on this guy. I'm not sure that's where it goes, but it's the best place that I can think of for me to utilize those runes without having them just do nothing or be on heroes that I don't use. So at least now they're all on heroes that I use. Come down into his stats. We want our Furnace to take hits. I'm not trying to rely on Abs of Steel for anything other than absorbing like plummets and KO hits. I'm trying to not have every single time somebody breathes on my Furnace that it triggers Abs of Steel. I'm trying to have him alive for a while. I'm trying to suck up as much hits into him as I can. So that's the strategy behind what I'm doing with him now. He can hang, guys. He takes a lot of damage to put out, and since he's not doing any damage really, he's only got 3.7k. That was why I went with these, is because it's all about burning with him. If I burn you, once you're on fire, at the end of the round when you go to take that damage, the higher my Furnace's skill is, the more damage you take. So I believe that's how it works. And I mean, maybe we'll use him for attacking later, I don't know. I'm really limited on what my red runes do, to be honest. Next up is probably the best KO'er in the game at the moment, Agnon. He can pretty much dump everyone, almost everyone. There's some heroes that, he can't dump, like, once they're stacked with life, but he dumps a lot of them, guys. We do not have ours set on defense. I've seen some defense heal builds, but we put ours on 4 offensive runes with 1 defensive survival rune, which is right there. It's a heal rune. And then we got the magical damage, which just goes miles for him. Since he has that blue on, he's almost max crit chance. Pretty much I'm killing everything unless they're literally designed to not die. Everybody else knows what Agnon does. He kills things. Then the next hero is Solaris. Solaris has been being used a lot more. Solaris, I have mine set to not just take hits, but be able to dish out a large chunk. I'm using her versus Dark a lot more now. I'm using her versus Lilies a lot more now. I'm using her in any fight without Hopper a lot more now. So she's really needed more investment, and I think we got her runes set up decently for what she does right now. We got attacks basically in the red, so she's pumping out damage there. I think the only reason why I really have that there is because I'm just short another duelist. Then I have a duelist here, which we're getting skill 2, which is not the worst thing, since she heals. But I did not want to put skill runes on because I'm more worried about her killing than healing. I feel like Emily's a better healer than Solaris. I do like the idea of spreading some skin, and I did like the idea of getting an attack stat in there, so that's what I went with. And then I've just got the defense rogue thing there. Maybe that should be my corruption rune instead. I'm not sure, that might not be the worst. Would I rather have 280 some defense instead of 600 health? But I don't know yet, so we're just going to leave it like that. It's been doing well. There's her stats, and she hits pretty damn hard, I will say. Especially when paired with Furnace. Furnace gives her that overload buff, and she just plows. Gortusk is pretty much well fared out, guys. Not because I don't want to rune my Gortusk. My runes just don't stretch this far. Meaning, my game crashed. So we were on Gortusk, I believe. Like I was saying, my runes just don't stretch as far as Gortusk. Meaning, all my blue runes are going better places. All my reds, yellows, purples, or whatever going better places. So this is the hand-me-down we got here. We got some crit chance with some attack. Then we got some planner for some HP defense and health. And then we've got some power for attack. We've got crit chance and electric skin. And then we finally now have moved to defense, health, lifesteal onto him. So, I mean, he can take a shade hit. He can't do a whole lot, man. He's really... I'm only using him for one purpose, and that's to bring with Solaris, just to feed Fury and die, and then if she wants to go in the ground because she dies, she comes as free revive. Especially good when his taunt, is annoying to somebody, but yeah, he's not carrying me right now. When I go against a super hard opponent, he's not coming. When I go against a super hard opponent, I'm not taking Gortusk, so it's not a big deal that his stats look like the worst Gortusk stats in the game. Kai, he's not wearing anything any better, really, because, I mean, he is, but he ain't. He is because we're testing with him because of the event and stuff, but, this rune's been moved around because I like it on Hopper, but Hopper's wearing taunt right now, so. We have some skill on him so that well, he always hits now, so I don't even really know why we need skill anymore for this guy, but I didn't have any other runes, really. I guess we could put the skill on Gortusk. But we got some burning skin and electric skin. Since we had all that skill, we might as well get some skins. And then here's the one that probably should be on Tusk, but we have it here. Not gonna lie, Kai definitely seems like an Emily update. He seems like a patch to a crybaby whine or something. Like everybody whined barbs were too hard, so you basically got like a handout help against him with Emily. And then I feel like if you thought assassins or if you thought like Swinlin and Koros was a problem, that this hero is just a straight up anti-taunt AoE. Taunt protected AoE. This guy now says no to. So that's his role in the meta for me. I have been using him I will be using him after the event versus ninjas, or assassins, I mean. I will be using him probably versus some Koros teams, like Koros Grog, like, it does work there, but his stats aren't anything special. He can be frozen now, so I don't ever remember him being able to be frozen last time before his updates, so I don't know if that's like new or what, but for whatever reason, I just don't remember you being able to freeze Kai on turn 1, but maybe I'm just tripping. So I don't think you need a heavy rune investment in Kai for you to still get the same value out of him, but you don't want him dying like a shade or something if that's what you brought him for. Drake, he's probably wearing superior runes, but he has no role in my PvP at the moment. He's just tower, so anytime I need these runes for something else, they're easily able to be taken off of him, but that's what's going on with him right now, is I'm using him in tower. So that's why he's runed up. My Koros, so funny. I have 5 graders on Koros, and there's been times where he hits harder than a fucking elite Koros. Like, he plows over an Agnon or something that was wearing superior runes. Like, I don't know. I thought maybe that there's a glitch in the game and grader runes get applied to the heroes boost stats, stars, or whatever like they're supposed to, and maybe elites don't. I don't know, man. I just thought my elite chorus was hitting pretty fucking hard for being all 5 elites. So anyway, we're bringing him in usually only anytime we need a purge, and I know there's nobody going to kill him before he takes his turn. That's the only time I've been bringing Chorus. And it's random, but sometimes people put like Emily first in their lineup, and that's when you get away with it. Femus, we just have runes on him because of the event. They'll probably be off of him by the end of the event. I don't feel like Ignore Taunt is good enough for me to invest in a hero. They need to make a rune that just gives Ignore Taunt, since I'm already having to read runes just because of the taunt rune. They need more active runes for me to be able, like, if I'm loading runes, it better be for a reason more than just, do they have a taunt, 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 because that's what's going on right now. It's the only reason why I'm reading anybody's runes, just to find out if they have taunt. So I think that sums up everybody that I'm using right now. So I start from the bottom, and we'll go up, and I'm just going to say that I feel like Alexandros doesn't have much potential. I don't feel like Zen has any potential anymore. I feel like Mero still might. He has the ability to put taunt on Solaris in the opening of a fight, but now Kai can get rid of that, but that would have been cool. Valican, I feel like if anybody's having super trouble with the Assassin team, a Valican could definitely do work with a Furno, man. Like, Valican, Furno, and defensive strategy on Valican. That way, the debuff from Furno doesn't matter. With Solaris, I mean, it would just be nasty, guys. You could go something like Tusker Kai, Valican, Furno, Solaris. Like, that's so rough versus the Assassin teams. Cabressa's on my mind. I feel like at any day the reptiles could get an update, and I don't want to not have 6-star reptiles like I had 3-star Ignis or whatever when Barbs got rocking or whatever. So I've been working on trying to get all that up. Rocky, I felt like he might have had some potential, but then I just backed off of him. Baylog, just for his silence, I've been thinking that he might come in useful, but his silence doesn't trigger on Solaris, so the only way to silence Solaris down is to beat down with Drake on your team and get the normal trigger. Other heroes, Leo doesn't really strike me as too much of a choice, maybe on offense, but I can't stretch my runes that far, guys. It's not happening. You'll see I have tons of runes on the side. Shield Maiden has my high interest on defense, guys, especially with these festives comes out, man. I feel like Yasmin might be potential in the future on defense, which has got me really looking at Shield Maiden for a boost towards Yasmin. But that could be miles down the road, guys. I usually don't try to go out in front of the meta and make meta teams. I usually try to counter the meta, and because I'm selfish and I'm just trying to get trophies. And now I plan to show you guys like when I'm doing that and how I'm doing it. I have been working on my Stifu. I wish my area had more stars. I do feel like area is decent right now. Deadeye is complete trash to me. I don't even know why they made him other than a distraction. Malice, I feel like, has potential now that they're pumping out more healer runes. She cuts off healing, so that she'll always be in the back of my mind. If the meta ever like dominates in a healing direction, then I know she'll be in my back pocket. Lily, I completely just got off of. After using the guy who recommended, Norton Raid or whatever, who recommended a anti-Zom / Dark Team, in one of my comments on my Double Trophies video, I haven't been using Lily anymore. His idea seems way better than using Lily, so she kind of bit the back burner, and when she bit the back burner, it freed up runes to be able to make my Echo valid, and man, has it been worth the change. Augustus has always been on the back of my mind, just because he can give his team shit, but Yasmin is really, she's definitely on my mind now that they're coming out with some skill and healing runes. Like, oh man, dude, she could really be a defensive annoyance problem in the future. Can't even believe I don't have one of those on her. Her epic is definitely not as high as I wish it was. But yeah, man, she's been on my mind. I know she's not that good right now, but she's been on my mind. So anyway, that, oh yeah, the Assassins, I thought about putting greater runes on them and just playing with them like that, but I like the idea of countering them better than I like the idea of building them, so that's where it is. My account is falling on the back of Three game plans, guys. Beatdown, Revive, or Zom. What I mean by Revive is like Emily Solaris. What I mean by Beatdown is anything that's trying to kill the opponent, you know, before they get set up. And then Zom. So Zom's pretty much, like I was telling you guys earlier, anti, you know, hopper strategies. You know, so... Anyway, now you can see the rags. Oh yeah, let me go over and show you all the runes that I am not using. So maybe anybody watching could have a suggestion that I do something with the runes that they see that I'm not already doing. Out of the heroes that I already showed you, 2 of them, I think, or 3 of them are pretty much on welfare. But let's go check out the ones I'm not using. Planners... Defense, health of strategies. I do got a skill hanging out there, but I got a skill hanging out there too. I have a penetration rune open now just because I'm playing with hoppers, so don't think that that's not going to go to use. It should be on a hero right now, guys. You're absolutely right if that's what you were thinking. Like, why in the fuck is that not on a Gorge Husk or something? You're right, but I just took it off a hopper, I think. I just know that things have been under construction, and I thought that I would show you guys what I've been up to rune-wise since I just now spent 9,000 gems today purchasing those runes. You might wonder, why didn't I get Elite instead of Superior? And I felt like, well, the rest of my festive runes are Superior, and so is most of the metas. So I don't really think that 5,000 more gems or 6,000 more gems was gonna give me like a huge edge on people. Like, I almost thought about not buying the runes at all, because what if they're gonna start putting them in the shop like every 2 weeks? Then I'll just wish I never bought them. Maybe I will, I don't know. I still wish I bought them. That's just runes from running the water dungeon. Don't know why I exit out of the guy. Let's move over to fire. Like I was saying, fire, I have really nothing. There's nothing I can do with it. I either have skill or damage. It's not like there's survival or something. I haven't bought. I should have bought more of the Golden Door fire runes probably, but never did. But it's not the end of the world. Mainly, I feel like all I can get out of my yellow is the best rune is Guardian. I have 2 of them. Then there's 1 planner, and then I have like tons of champs for electric skins and tons of monster damage. So I just don't feel like I possess a whole lot of yellow power. I had thought about stacking those to try and eat Agnon hits on certain people, but for the most part, I don't need a whole lot to take down the meta. This week has been the easiest week of PvP I've had in probably 2 months. I kind of want to say the devs nerfed PvP this week. Like, I got proof. I got 5 or more matches this week alone where they give me like guys that got level 10 or less than 1,000 rune power. Like, that is unheard of. So, like, that wasn't what I was getting last week. So I don't know if that's what everybody's getting this week or not, but I'll be making hard videos for this week, next week too, meaning like my hard matches, it's going to be hard matches from last week, meaning don't expect to see the hard matches from this week. You'll see them a week afterwards, which means, yeah, you'll be a week behind what I'm doing, but at the same time, if you're watching the trophies boost every week, you won't necessarily be behind. You'll just be kind of like, oh, I want to see more about how you do a certain thing or a certain way, and then you'll be able to when that next video drops. This one coming in the next couple of days will be about 3 hours long, but the ones after that in the future, I will find a way to slim them down to 40 minutes tops. I can't think of any other reason why somebody would want to watch that much PvP when it's a lot of repetitiveness in PvP. I really just need to start recording the ones where I don't feel like I'm going to win when I run in. I just don't feel 100% confident or something. That's what I need to be recording, not just every hard 5, 8, 6k, whatever, level 80. No, like if you've seen me beat one level 80, 6k version of that team, you probably don't want to see any more. So, in the future, I'll get better at making those videos. So the only rune I did not show you guys is green. Let's get over to a green. If you all wonder why I keep these on the side and not on my roster, it mainly has to do with a lot of these runes too. They could get better used. I just stripped them off certain heroes like Lily, so they're kind of like free for when I want to do something else. Like basically I could rune Lily up, but I'm not using her, so there's no sense in having runes on her. It allows me to stay more organized. I call this my closet. These are my rags, what I wear to beat the riches. I don't have anything really fancy, guys. Every time they have one of them calendar events, there's always a rune in there better than like any rune I own, so if I can beat top teams, that I know people that are watching me can too. So there's all the runes that I'm wearing, and my roster then in PvP is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 heroes basically, and I'd say I only use 10. I think, I'm using, who am I, like, I didn't even count Koros because I haven't used Koros all week. I'm using Gortusk like maybe once a week, twice a week, like, that's not enough to really consider him a PvP hero. And Kai, I considered him because he's going to be being used for assassins indefinitely now. I would like to get Kai and Gortusk 6-star this week or next week. I will start more on boss mode whenever I get around to it. I did beat the Gortusk dungeon off camera just so that I could farm it. I know it's selfish, but I didn't feel like making a whole other episode. Nothing turns me on about campaign. It's not like I can farm a rune that I put on and makes my guy, compatible in freaking PvP or something. It's just trash. It's just run this fucking dungeon over and over and over, and it's the most fucking, like, there's no reward in it, so, except for, like, during events and shit. So anyway, there's my rune setup that I've been using to do pretty well, I feel like, in the past 2 weeks of PvP. We got 15th last week. We're in 9th currently. This water nature event's not going to be anything to keep me out of top 10 contention. The only thing keeping me out of top 10 contention right now is my shitty player skill. Almost every loss this season should have been a win. It's something that I fucked up, that I, it's been a disgusting week of PvP for me, but it's not that bad if I'm still in 9th, I guess, so I don't want to cry so much. But, I want to thank everybody who's been watching my channel. I wish you guys would tell more Dungeon Boss players about my channel. I feel like the information that I give you guys in PvP is pretty valuable. I don't understand how when I go to the forums, I listen to people bitch about and cry about things that I've already answered and showed in my videos, and I'm just like, man, nobody knows about my shit. And so, anyway, for you ones that have found my channel and you watch it, thank you. It means the world to me. Keep watching, and I'll keep trying to provide the best content that I can, and I gotta get a sense of direction on where I'm going so that I can get better at it. I'm working a lot in my real life on real life content that has nothing to do with Dungeon Boss that'll eventually go on my channel in the future, but for right now, I just want to shout out to everybody who's been following my shit and say thank you, and I'll keep doing it, and hopefully y'all keep enjoying it. Anyway, later.